I hate money. Tired of people saying, honey, that's no way to live, as if it's more important to earn than it is to give. Telling me I should care more about what I drive in my social class, well, quite frankly, you can kiss my ass. Keep your advice and your opinion, I think I'll pass. Rather not take advice from those who put a man in power who's stripping away the rights of those he's supposed to protect. And you can tell me these are all just lies, but look around and tell me, what do you detect? I'm not trying to condemn the ones who spend their entire lives trying to decipher God, but to me that seems quite odd when the world around us is falling to pieces, and instead of getting out there and helping, all you're doing is spending Sundays trying to impress Jesus. I think if he's actually up there, he'd be a lot prouder if you spoke a little louder about the ones who need your help the most. You sit there and boast about your religious freedom, but what about my freedom to love whoever my heart chooses? And for all those with darker skin dying in the streets while you're sleeping safely in your sheets. Privilege is not a competition of who had it worse. Privilege is an explanation of, please recognize my curse and I'll recognize yours. You call me a bleeding heart as if that's worse than having one that's locked in a cage, along with all the black souls our country keeps locking in a cage. Open up your eyes and look at all the wounds our society is causing and tell me, it isn't more human to bleed when you're cut open. So yeah, call me a bleeding heart, but that just tells me mine is still pumping. My heart is simply doing the job that it was built to, and if you stop and listen to my words, maybe yours will start again too. And if your heart starts racing with anger at the words I have to say, maybe it's just trying to remind you of the job it's been missing. I seem to have been born with this anxiety disorder, but maybe my heart has been racing my whole life, trying to make up for the ones around me, to feel a thing, to bleed a single drop. You also call me a snowflake, but we all know you're just scared that our anger and threats of change aren't all fake. Us liberals, all we're doing is standing up for human rights for God's sake. You pretend you don't support gay marriage for your God's sake, like the man who refused to make a fucking cake. You really think this is what your so-called God cares about? If so, I feel bad for him as much as you. It must be awful stressful to live a life so filled with hate. No wonder you're always so angry with all those contradictions you're trying to placate. And while I'm all about differences in opinions, some things just aren't up for debate, like who I date, Black Lives Matter, global warming, clean drinking water, and women's rights. Oh hey, and your precious religious freedom too. Muslims and all the ones you don't like so much, they deserve that too. You call us snowflakes as if we're the ones who are cold-hearted and not you. And we're all willing to fight this with all our might. These little snowflakes won't melt so easily. We're determined to save our world and our people while you go out and hang out in your steeple. Now don't get me wrong, this isn't directed towards all religious people. Just the ones who stand on their soapboxes and declare right and wrong, but won't open their doors when the chance for change knocks. Some of you got it right, listening to your books of wisdom and spreading kindness and love. So please don't take offense from these things I wrote on the defense. I'm just mad about the ones who care more about building a giant fence than building bridges. Regardless of your religious, I only seem to be attacking the Christians because it seems like so many are on a mission to hide behind their Bibles and create more and more rivals.